All right, let's dive right into one of the most fascinating and mysterious parts of this world, time itself. We're going to unpack a trial that isn't about strength, but about completely reshaping how you understand reality.
So, here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll enter the trial and learn the basic rules of time. Then, we'll see those rules get put to the test in some seriously mind-bending puzzles. After that, we'll get into the connection between dreams and real power, before we finally land on a whole new understanding of what time actually is.
Our story kicks off with the Dream Knights standing in front of this huge door, and the image on it is pretty telling. It's a warrior in clock-faced armor about to fight, well, nothing, a blank space. This tells you right away this isn't a test of muscle, it's a test of the mind.
And this is the million-dollar question they have to answer, and so do we. The hero, Mitsuki, she gets it instantly. Unlike other trials that are just for one type of elemental user, this one's for everybody. And why is that? Because, as she says, time affects all living creatures. It's the one thing none of us can escape.
So they go inside and meet their guide, Prince Asante, who is basically the master of this whole domain. And you know what? He tells them they've already passed the first test just by showing up together. See, they've already figured out a core truth. Time is something we all share.
Okay, so this is where Prince Asante basically gives us a masterclass. He starts to break down the entire metaphysical nature of time into these core ideas that, pretty much run their entire reality. First up, he talks about the big physical clock that we all live by. The rhythm of our lives. Day turns to night, the seasons change. He explains this is all just a result of a predictable, cosmic dance between planets, moons, and stars. It's time you can literally see and feel.
But here's the twist, right? Even though we all experience this stuff, it's not exactly the same for everyone. Prince points out that, we all see the sunrise, but because of time zones, we don't all see it at the same time. Our location, even our culture's calendar, it all creates these unique little personal timelines inside the big cosmic one.
So then Prince gets into how our brains actually work with time. He explains that we only ever really exist in the now, right? But we're constantly collecting the past as memories. And that collection of experiences, that's what lets us make sense of the present and try to predict what's coming in the future. It's this constant loop.
And this leads to a really crucial point. Time is actually the engine for two different kinds of growth. Just the simple passage of time makes us get older physically. But it's what we do with that time, our experiences, that makes us grow mentally and spiritually.
Now, this next part is super cool. It's a concept he calls alignment. Prince explains that when different, unique timelines happen to overlap, something totally new gets created. Think about it. A solar eclipse is just the sun and moon's timelines lining up. Musical harmony? That's just different sounds lining up. Even a shared memory is just two people's timelines crossing paths.
And get this, your personal experience of time, it's not even a constant. Prince reveals that three things can totally warp it: your physical size, how fast you're moving, and maybe most important of all, your knowledge. The more experience you have, the more you can see old patterns showing up again in the present. It's almost like you're getting a little peek into the future.
All right, so the lecture's over. Now it's pop quiz time, and it's a tough one. The trial of understanding becomes a trial of doing. The heroes have to take all this abstract knowledge about time and cause and effect and use it to solve a bunch of deadly connected puzzles.
So the first challenge is basically a metaphor brought to life. The team is on this massive frozen lake, and their path is blocked by a giant crystal wall. They can't see the way forward at all, and the only way to reveal it is by changing the very state of the elements around them.
And their solution is just pure genius. It's a perfect chain reaction of cause and effect. They use heat to unleash these super powerful beams of light. Those beams then vaporize the lake ice, which makes the water level drop, and reveals the secret path. But wait, the beams are deadly. So then they freeze the ceiling, which turns the vapor into fog, which then diffuses the light beam so they can cross safely. Just wow.
The next puzzle really hammers home one of Prince's big lessons. You have to find the appropriate response. And check this out. What was a huge threat in one room becomes the solution in the next. In that first challenge, the solar rays were a massive danger, but in the second one, they're actually the key.
And here's where it all connects so beautifully. Remember that vapor they made to solve the first puzzle? Well, it gets piped into the next room, which is just full of enchanted fire.
The vapor makes the air all humid, which naturally puts a damper on the flames and reveals a hidden bridge. The solution to problem A becomes the key for problem B. It's a perfect lesson in how actions echo through time.
So, they've passed the physical tests, they get the mechanics, and now we finally get to the real why behind this whole trial. This was never just about solving puzzles. It's about understanding what power really is.
This is where San just lays it all out. The trial, she explains, is a conceptual framework. Puzzles like the frozen lake, they're not just roadblocks. They're designed to take these huge, abstract powers, like controlling the weather, and break them down into simple, usable rules of cause and effect. It's a training manual.
And this is the whole point of what they do as Dream Knights. They are the bridge between two different realms. The dream world, which is all about pure ideas and magic, and the real world, which is about technology and tools. This trial is teaching them how to turn one into the other.
San really sums it all up with this killer line. Every single piece of technology we have, from something simple like a hammer to a smartphone, it all started as just a thought in someone's head, an intangible idea. This whole trial, it's basically a factory for turning those dreams into real things.
Okay, so after all that, after the lectures, the puzzles, the philosophy, what is time, really? We can finally put the pieces together.
Well, one thing's for sure. It's not just a clock ticking in a straight line. It's the force that connects everything, the engine of cause and effect. It's what allows for growth, what creates harmony when things align, and it's the lens that we see our entire reality through. So what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that time is a system with rules, and if you understand those rules, if you get cause and effect in harmony and the right response for the right moment, you can actually start to shape the future. It's about learning to turn big ideas into real-world change. And that leaves us with one final question to think about for ourselves. Prince taught us that the past we carry with us helps us predict the future. So the question is, what past are you building from? What experiences and what memories are you choosing to build your own future on?